Familiarity of an environment, right? As human beings, we are comfortable with what's familiar to us, right? We don't want to make new friends, like we want to have the same people, the same friends, the same hangout spots, right? The same school, uh the same district, the same city, the same country. Right? As human beings, we naturally want something that is familiar to us, something that is close to us, something that we can relate to, something that feels like, yo, I see myself in that person, or that person reminds me of my friend, or that person reminds me of my sister, right? So familiarity is nice, to be honest. It's a good way to connect with people. It's a sign of connection, a sign of togetherness, a sign of two people being in agreement. Being in agreement in the sense that, yo, okay, I know you, you know me. I know you from such and such, or I know you from that club, or I know you from across the street, you live across the street from me. So that's where I know you. And we often we've talked about our friends, talked about the school that we go to, we've talked about our aspirations, we've talked about our past and what our past was like, and how negative or positive our past has been. We talk about the services that are delivered into our neighborhood, the services that are needed, like does the garbage man arrive on time, or the garbage man, or the garbage delivery, or man, the people that get the garbage and like they take the garbage in the morning, did they come in the morning, did they, we know stuff like that. And so when you understand things like that, when you think about things like that, right, it's great as human beings to have such people, to have such things, but it could also be a trap. It could also be the thing that limits you, right? The thing that limits you, maybe living in a farm area, right? Not city, like in the city that you're living in, right? And maybe you're living in a farm area, in the farm district in that city, and you're living there, and you're good. Like, and maybe you want to move to the city because you feel like the city has more opportunities for you. You feel like the city can do more for you. You feel like the city aligns with your dreams, aligns with your goals, aligns with your aspirations, aligns with who you want to become, right? You see you see the person you want to become in the city. You don't see them in this farm area, this farm location that you're in, right? uh, Even so, even maybe the school that you go to, like you can maybe go to a pretty good school, like, oh yeah, people get good marks, the teachers are good, there's enough space for all of us, you know this could be a primary, but when you get to high school, maybe you want to go to Alex, maybe you want to go to Gray, maybe you want to go to VP, maybe you want to go to Pearson, maybe you want to go to a higher standard, a better standard of schooling, right? When you're in high school, maybe you want a different direction, you want a better school for yourself, you want to to meet these different people in the school. You want to experience the school, right? You want, or maybe you want to experience the school because your sibling went to it, right? And you want to just check it out and see, right? There's many different aspects to it. Different aspects. Maybe the city that you're in, right? The city that you're in is lacking opportunities. There's very high unemployment in your city, right? And you're thinking, nah, I gotta move to another city to get jobs or whatnot. But that type of thinking doesn't really work, right? It doesn't always work. 70% of the time, it doesn't always work for you in that way, right? Yes, there may be more opportunities in that city, in the city that you aspire to go to, but those you might not get those opportunities, right? The opportunities that you see, you might not get those opportunities because you're not connected, or because it's too many people vying for one spot, right? So these are the things you need to consider. But usually the best change in order for, like, in terms of production is a better city, right? A better city usually ups the production, right? And that's what a lot of people say about Joburg. People want to go to Joburg not because, okay, celebrities are there, or has nice houses or nice life, nice nightlife. Like, a lot of people go there because they feel the hustle spirit. There's a hustle spirit around the city, right? And that shows, the statistics show that, right? There's a reason why Joburg is the capital, the when it comes to economics, right? There's a reason why Joburg is number one in terms of economically, like economic wise, in the country, because there's such a heavy hustle spirit. People are hustling. People are there for money, basically. And so that is the, if you wanna be successful, if you wanna, like, really make it, if you make it in Joburg, you've made it, right? If you make it in Joburg, you've made it. Make it in the city of gold, you become gold, right? So that is the perception of that, right? So everybody wants to make it. So yeah, familiarity can hold you back. um Familiarity can definitely be something that holds you back, and that is something that I want us to consider. I want us to remove the comfort zone, because the comfort zone, it kind of traps you, right? When you're not in your comfort zone is when you know that, okay, I'm moving in direction. That is when you're truly moving in the right direction. Is when you know you're not in your comfort zone, you're not comfortable where you're at, where you're going, in the direction where you're going. And I mean this in the sense of, like, in a positive sense, like when if you're moving to another city, or you landed a new job, or you you decide to invest full time in this business and you're uncomfortable. Those are the type of things that I mean when I'm talking about uncomfortability, right? That's what I'm talking about, right? In the positive sense. So that's when you see true progression is going into uncharted territories, uncharted waters, right? So when you strive for that, that is usually when you know, all right, this is where this could be a good path right here. This is a good path right here. So yeah, familiarity could be a trap. So I want us to be careful of familiarity and really think, right, okay, is how is the familiarity in my environment? How is it affecting me? And how can I change it? If if I don't like the way it's affecting me, how can I change it? What are the action steps I can take to change it? And how can I move forward, right? So that's just the thought I have for us.